Hey everybody, welcome to the first ever day in the life, behind the scenes, whatever you want to call it, podcast. I'm also doing video on this, so it'll be on YouTube, on the Flipping Junkie YouTube channel. But I wanted to start doing this because I talked about sharing more about what we're doing day to day, giving you sort of a look at the actual, day to day of our flipping business and our software business for real estate investors and just everything that we do. I think a lot of times, when people are talking about success and how to do things, it seems like maybe it was overnight or they did it quickly and you don't really know what it's like day to day, that maybe it's very easy for them because all you're hearing about is like the good things, what went right and the deals that they did and the profit that they made and all that kind of stuff. So I just wanted to start doing these quick videos. Figured I could do them in my car maybe most of the time just because it's a time that would be a little bit easier to commit to doing more of these videos and as things happen, so something happens and I'm driving somewhere and talk about what happened, but so you can look forward to getting more of these videos and podcasts about what we're doing. So I just had breakfast with my dad, who also flips houses, and my brother, who also flips houses. He and his wife do, and we had breakfast and just had a good time and shared some stories and talked about some of the things in the past. And so my brother's got he and his wife Melena have a house that they're finishing up and putting on the market, and there's a house that came up for sale just down the street in the same neighborhood, exact same square footage, was rehabbed, and I was asking about the quality of the rehab and the pricing, to see where they're going to, price theirs. And, it turns out like you couldn't see inside because the blinds were closed on the windows. So people coming to look at the house that was for sale wouldn't be able to even see what it looked like inside if they got out and looked in the windows. And, my dad was talking about he didn't understand why people do that. You should showcase the place, especially if it's rehabbed. People should be able to see inside, see how beautiful it is, and be dying to call you to make an offer on the house. And so the concern is in some places that, that somebody's going to see that it's vacant and vandals, or, somebody's going to go in there and do something. It reminded me of a story, where we had a property for sale several years ago, and the neighbor called us, and the camera's kind of sliding here a little bit, but the neighbor called us after a weekend and told us, hey, the garage door is open, and looks like the refrigerator is like hanging out halfway out of the door from the garage into the house. And so obviously something's not right, and we went over there, and somebody had stolen all of our staging furniture at that house. So I guess they loved the way it looked. Maybe it was like a rooms to go setup where they could see what it would look like, and they loved it, so they decided to steal it. So that night, I guess they opened the garage, went inside, and closed the garage maybe, and then broke into the back door of the house, the French doors, and removed all the contents, all of our staging furniture, the rugs, the pictures we hung on the wall. Yeah, most of it's all cheapy stuff that looked good, but it was still super cheap. But and then they couldn't be bothered to take or didn't have the time maybe to take the refrigerator doors off, so they got it wedged between the door from the house into the garage, so they weren't able to get that, and ended up just leaving it there, and maybe they were spooked by something, who knows. But anyway, so that was a bad thing that happened. And my father had shared when he had done a property where he put down some new laminate floors and had them all installed, and the very next day they went out there and somebody had unsnapped each one by one and stole the entire laminate floors. So it's really interesting what people are willing to do. It's one of those things where I guess it's the way I think, but I'm just thinking, man, that must have been time consuming. Like, how could that even possibly be worth it? But anyway, so that's some interesting fun things that have happened in the past with rehabs. But so we shared some of that. And on the way to having breakfast, I was listening to another podcast, and the guy was talking about Tony Robbins, who's an amazing speaker and just amazing person. But he always talks about if you want to achieve something or become somebody, you find the person that's where you want to be and you emulate them. You do everything that they do. You just see how they did it and you just do it the same way, and that's how you kind of learn how to do exactly and get to where they are. And it's just an awesome thing to always remember. And when I was listening to that, I was remembering back whenever I was just getting started in flipping houses. Man, it was 13 years ago, maybe 14 years ago. And there was a website called flippinghomes.com, and it was run by Steve Cook. And there was a forum. So this was pre Bigger Pockets. And I would go there and I would read whatever he was posting and learn from what I could learn from. And there was a guy, and Steve Cook was posting all the time. And okay, so this is what happened. Yeah, so he was on there. He was running this, but before that, I think it's Creative Real Estate Online. So CRE Online. And that was another forum that was even predated Flipping Homes, I think, .com. And I went there and I saw that he had posted, pretty frequently in the past. So he had a history of all these posts that Steve Cook had posted there. And I remember like seeing the progression. So like on flippinghomes.com, I'd seen where he's answering people's questions. Like he was somewhat of a mentor and a coach for a lot of people. And I knew that he had posted for a long time on CRE Online, Creative Real Estate Online. And so I could go back and literally do a search on his name in the archives of all those forum posts. And that's what I did. I literally went back to the beginning and saw his progression from asking some of simple questions, basic questions when he was learning, and the answers he got and how he learned from them, and the progression he made to get to where he was, coaching people and doing a lot of deals and doing awesome. And so that was very interesting to me, and it follows that same pattern of finding somebody and learning from them. And I kind of hope to provide that. I do hope to provide that with the podcast and Flipping Junkie blog and everything that we're doing, so that people can learn from our mistakes and can kind of see what we're going through. That's maybe another reason why I'm going to be doing more of these behind the scenes, day in the life, quick podcast episodes, sharing little nuggets of stuff that we're doing, things that happened, all the fun stuff, the aggravating stuff, everything like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I really appreciate you guys listening to the Flipping Junkie podcast. And be sure to subscribe on iTunes, and if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting a lot more of these up, and you'll have access to them. So thanks again, and have a great day. Headed to the office to crank up some more work. We're doing a ton of planning. Got some exciting stuff to share. Right now it's sort of under wraps, and so I'll be talking about it within the coming months, but things are going to be changing quite a bit with the software side, and of course we've been growing our flipping business as well, so I'll have stuff to share about what we're doing currently to do that, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, have a great day.